So it's not that there's one winner, but the reason I mentioned Norm is that nobody did what he did, and no one ever can again. I do think he was uniquely able. He would come out and just tell these stories that were total bullshit, and you knew from the get-go it was total bullshit. And he'd be like, I'd say, Norm, how's it going? It's pretty good, Conan. I got a farm, and I'd be thinking, he doesn't have a fucking farm. But I'd go, because you're the interviewer, I'd be like, oh, you have a farm? Yeah, I got a farm, and I got 3 daughters, Conan. And I'd be thinking, what? But I go like 3 daughters. Yeah, each one prettier than the next. And one day a traveling salesman. A traveling salesman. And you'd think, oh, he's just telling a joke from 1942. And he's pretending this really happened to him. And it's performance art. I'm telling you, when I walk around in the world, people like come out of the woodwork and say, oh my God, Norm Macdonald, this time he was on, that time he was on, this other time he was on. And I just think that I think people are going to be talking about that guy 50 years from now. I think he
100%.
And the way he told jokes, and he was completely fearless.
That's the thing. He was always so smooth, man. Did you ever have an underrated guess? Like a sneaky guess that was kind of your fave that nobody would... I
mean, there's so many different guests that would come on and defy the label, and there are people that can come on where, they're known for being, incredibly good looking, or you think, oh, this person's going to be this type. I shot something once with Tom Cruise in London where we're driving around together. He was so great comedically and naturally funny, and I have to admit I had put him in a little bit of a box of, well, he's an action star guy, so he probably doesn't, he won't be like the funniest person, and he was really great, and he played it perfectly, and he had really good ideas, and I thought, well, that's on me. I put him in a box. I thought, he's great at hanging onto the wing of a plane and delivering like a great action line, but there's no way he can, I'm not expecting him to be funny in this way, and he was
100%,
that and more, and I'm sure you guys have experienced this doing the podcast, which is you'll talk to someone and you think, well, this, okay, they're going to be really fascinating, but they're not going to be X, Y, or Z. And then they are 1,000 times over. So we all form biases. We all form like, okay, I'm going to talk to these, these guys, and this is what we're going to talk about. And no, you're completely wrong. There's people will surprise you every time.
I share that same story, ironically, in London with Tom Cruise. He was one of the funniest, down to earth guys, and it's just you don't think to put him in. Really, you don't ever want to put anybody in a bubble, but it's just like you don't think of it as that, and he really did. He really was just the best guy. Do you have like a favorite joke of all time?
Oh, man, no, there's too many. There've been too many. I don't think there could be one joke that I would say is my, I have bits I've done that I really love. I once, we found out that there was a league that played baseball, and they played with 1875 rules, like literally the same.
This is one of my favorite bits I've ever seen.
They dressed like it was 1875, and they called the ball the apple, which is something that they really did in 1875. Did like, pitch the apple, and they talked in that. So I showed up, and I got into this insane costume and a fake like handlebar mustache. And I just became one of those guys. I literally became one of those guys, and I was such an asshole. And I was taunting the pitcher and saying, hurl the apple, and making like weird jokes that would have been from the 1870s. And the guy got irritated. So he whipped one really close to my head, and I ducked, and then I dropped the bat, and I come after him, and I start putting my fist up.
It's the only way somebody fights with a handlebar mustache.
When I do fight both of you in a parking lot, which will happen because I'll be whacked out on Toradol. But
That's right. I was about to say.
it will be this style, and I'll get a few pops in before you rip my torso into two pieces and candy comes out.
It's got good reach on you.
I love those moments. There are moments where I don't even know I'm doing comedy. And you guys talk about it too. It's when you said it's the blackout moments. Those are the moments that are the ultimate high for me, is when you're doing your thing and it feels easy and you're not even thinking about it, and then it's over and people say, oh, that was great, and you go, I don't even know what happened. That's what I live for.
This isn't in the rundown, but I do want to ask you this, because I'm always fascinated with people that are writers and also just naturally inherently funny, and it can just go, like you're talking about, like blackout, they just kind of are riffing. In football, it's very easy, like, hey, like if you practice running routes versus specific coverage, like, yeah, you know where the open space is, you know structurally what is. Is there like a structure that you hone or practice in the world of comedy that makes you able to riff and kind of just be like that all the time?
I don't think I've ever seen them written out, but there are certain structures that get passed on from time to time, and you mostly learn it through, you grow up and you look at what's making me laugh. Like, you know, I took from everything. I mean, I learned from, you know, really funny movies like the Clouseau movies with Peter Sellers, but also, you know, Warner Brothers cartoons, and also, you know, TV shows I really loved. And you'd pick up on different funny people you'd see on Johnny Carson, and you'd notice a certain rhythm, and it just kind of gets into your bones. And so it's not so much like there's a textbook anywhere. I'd be very suspicious of any book that said, make sure the joke always hits on the 3. Make sure that, you know, like, I would be suspicious of that. But I do think you pick up on things, and then just through trial and error, and I mean, not even in front of people, but so much trial and error happens, in comedy anyway, happens first when you're a kid around your parents and your brothers and sisters, then in school, then it happens just out in life. You're constantly seeing and adjusting and learning on some level, but there's no book. No one can write it out in chalk on a board and with X's and O's, and then you cut left or cut right. But it's one of those things that you learn just by doing over and over and over again, and it kind of just sinks in to your bones.
Yeah.
I think that is because you know, the minute someone presents me with a structure, it would bum me out. You know, I think you always want to be able to surprise yourself in a moment.
Man, you're giving us all types of nuggets of golds here, man.
Yeah, and it makes sense because I think comedy so much is about doing and saying the unexpected. So the moment you try to put structure to it, like, it's like, okay, you're taking away the part that kind of makes it funny, is by setting something up and then veering in a direction that nobody anticipates you going in.
Whenever people try and analyze comedy, I think it just disappears. Like, it suddenly turns into the most boring conversation, because it's like you're trying to grab smoke, you know, and you're like, I've got the smoke, but then you open your hand and it's not there.
That's a good analogy.
But I mean, that's kind of how it feels. It's just, there's so many things that are...
In a special episode of the New Heights podcast, Kansas City Chiefs star Travis Kelce surprised fans by sharing an emotional story behind the dress he gifted to his fiancée, pop superstar Taylor Swift, for her to wear at the prestigious 2026 Academy Awards. Throughout the more than hour-long conversation with his brother, Jason Kelce, Travis frequently talked about football, life off the field, and plans for the upcoming season. But when the topic shifted to the red carpet at the Academy Awards in Los Angeles, his voice slowed, becoming more subdued, as if he were reliving a special moment. You know, Travis began, that night really meant a lot to me. Not because of the lights, not because of the red carpet, but because of the dress Taylor wore. Jason immediately chuckled.